You always hear it said that the audience will forgive video quality if it looks really bad, as long as the audio sounds good. Because if your audio starts sounding bad, they have a propensity to actually click off of your video because it just doesn't sound good. We're looking at a new microphone from Movo. It is the X3 Mark II. It is their shotgun microphone. And is it any good? Well, all the audio that you're listening to right now is actually coming from the Movo. I've got 48 volt phantom power feeding it, XLR cable going into my Zoom 8.6 recorder, and I've got it at negative 12 dB on the recorder. So this is audio that you hear. No other noise in the room, so I'll be very quiet. Just a quick little noise floor. Now, normally my microphone of choice here at the studio is the Deity S-Mic 2. I like it. It sounds really, really good. There's not a whole lot that you have to do to it. Now, I will say that the Deity S-Mic 2 is a little bit shorter in length, but it is substantially heavier than what this Movo X3 is. Now, the Movo X3 has a couple of things up its sleeve. You can either run 24 volt phantom power or you can run 48 volt phantom power. Or if you don't have the ability to supply a phantom power, it can run off of one AA battery, so off of a 1.5 volt battery, and it will turn on and it will give you an audio signal. We'll do a little audio test and I'll talk a little bit more about the audio quality coming from the battery versus phantom power. Now, the frequency range on this microphone is 60 hertz to 20 kilohertz, and it is a super cardioid condenser microphone. So its pickup pattern is going to be kind of laser focused on you. And the way that I have mine set up here is where normally the Deity is. And we'll do a little comparison of the Deity versus this Movo here in just a moment also, because I want to see for $129, and that's what this microphone retails for, is it good? So let's talk about some of the things that come inside the package when you purchase this Movo X3. You get the lovely box. You get a nice little bag with it that houses a XLR male to female cable so that you can use with your digital recorder. And it also has an XLR to 3.5 millimeter jack. So that's where the battery part would come in handy. Now, to install a battery, all you've got to do is screw off the bottom portion, and it gives you the ability to put in a AA battery into it, screw it shut. Now, when the switch is all the way in the down position, it is off when you have a battery installed. When you click it up one notch, it is flat, and that will turn on the microphone. And if you click it up one more notch, it will give you a high pass filter of 150 hertz. Microphone, you also get a nice little foam screen with it, so it'll help block out some of the wind noise, a little bit of it. But if you want to get rid of a lot of the wind noise, it comes with a great dead cat. Now, this is a definitely nice large furry sock here, because this thing is great. You put this over the foam, and now all of a sudden you've got something that's going to be able to block out a ton of wind noise. So now, mounting options, you've got a couple different mounting option possibilities. So it comes with a double Rycote shock mount, and you can either mount it onto your camera and plug in the 3.5 millimeter jack into the audio input on your camera. But we'll talk about that audio jack input and the audio quality in just a second. You can also mount it onto a boom pole if you choose, and that way you can direct the audio straight over talent, or it comes with a little handle, so if you want to record some sound effects, get some Foley, you can actually do that with this microphone as well. Now, it also comes with this little tiltable adapter right here that has a cold shoe mount on the bottom and a 1/4-20 up on top to mount into the Rycote mount. And then you also get a 3/8 female to a 1/4 inch male so that you can screw into the Rycote mount, because a lot of C-stands will have a 3/8 mount on it. Now, audio quality, build quality, the build quality seems nice, but it's not like the Deity. And that's a big deal, because the Deity microphone, there's a video by Kevin, the basic filmmaker, where he took the Deity S-Mic 2 and actually ran over it with his car, threw it into his toilet. And if I can find that video, I'll throw up some of the clips from that because it was hilarious. But it really showed the build quality and how it can survive all that. And it still works just fine. How do I know that? Well, it's not this S-Mic 2 that I have here in the studio. It's the S-Mic 2 that I have at home that I got from Kevin. Yes, toilet water and all, that still works perfectly fine, and all the audio that you hear at the home studio is actually from that Deity as well. So enough of blabbering. I'm going to give you two different audio samples. We're going to move the Movo onto a little stand, and I have to rig up my Deity S-Mic 2. Why? Because the mount for it is a 3/8 mount, and I don't have a male 3/8 to 1/4 inch 20 female, so trust me, I'll get it to work. Wow. Okay, well, this turned into a jankier setup than what I thought that it was going to be. But so I've got the Deity S-Mic 2 right here, so I'll tap on it so that you know which one is which. And then we'll tap on the Movo. So we're going to just kind of talk back and forth between these two. Like I said, please forgive the setup of this. Very, very janky the way that I did it. But I'm trying to keep them at the proper angle and also a correct distance from my mouth. So testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She sells by the seashore. Well, I totally jacked that up, didn't I? She sells seashells by the seashore. So which one is actually better, the Deity S-Mic 2 or the Movo X3 version 2 or Mark 2? Is there a comparable difference between these two? So tell me down in the comment section so far. Pause the video. Tell me which one did you like better, the Movo X3 or the Deity S-Mic 2? Okay, on to the next test, because now we've got to try the XLR to 3.5 millimeter. I'm going to plug this into my Zoom, and I'm going to use the Zoom H1 to record audio for this next segment and see how does this sound. So now I've got the Movo X3 using the battery power XLR cable into 3.5 millimeter jack going into the Zoom H1 recorder. I've had to kick up the Zoom all the way up to 100% input, which is something that you really don't want to do because you're going to introduce a lot of noise. But a quick little audio test, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can already tell you that the audio is very low, so I'm probably going to have to put this and boost it up in post-production. So I'll put right here at the bottom of the screen how many dBs I had to raise this just to get it to a normal sound. And with this normal sound, let's listen to the noise floor. So is it a worthwhile microphone all the way around? I think that if you're using it for an XLR purposes with 24 or 48 volt phantom power going into a dedicated digital recorder, whether it's a Zoom or Tascam, whatever it is that you use, I think that that's where its best audio quality is. I think that if you use it with the 3.5 millimeter jack and the internal power, it's just not enough to get good, clean audio. And by the way, the clean audio that you're listening to right now out of this is me fixing it in post-production to make it sound decent to where you can still hear me without a ton of background noise and really low volume, to where I'm trying to make this actually sound good now. I'm not trying to make it sound good for the review. I'm trying to make it sound good for you, the listener. So at $129, when you consider everything that you get with this microphone, the microphone itself, the cabling, the right coat shock mount, double right coat, and the windscreen, little foam windscreen, and the dead cat, I think it's a nice little purchase. Now, Movo, for me, I think it was the is it VRX10 or VXR10? Always get that confused. I'll put it right up here, which what it is. But that was the first microphone that I got that was a little mini shotgun microphone for your camera or action camera that surprised the dickens out of me, because the audio quality coming out of that was so good. And there was a lot of channels that actually did a review on the Movo VXR10 or VRX10 and compared it to the Rode, Deity, and all this. And they actually found it very comparable. And a couple of the people that were doing it, and I can't remember the channel. If I happen to remember, I'll put it down here, that did the review of it. But a couple of people in that video actually chose the Movo over all the others for its just complete sound and how nice that it sounded. So tell me down in the comment section below, yes, the 3.5 millimeter battery powered is not going to sound good. Let's get that out of the way. But it's a nice attempt. But where this microphone actually shines is going to be using phantom power, using it into a digital recorder. So tell me down in the comment section below, what do you think about this Movo? I like the build quality. It's not like my Deity, but got to keep in mind, we're talking about a budget microphone versus a high-end microphone like the Deity S-Mic 2. And also product links to this Movo down in the description below so you guys can check it out for yourself. And as always, I'll catch you in the next review. Bye-bye.